Mr. Olson is coming.
I'll approve the
I got
agenda.
it.
Okay, the agenda is approved and good, and the minutes have been
She was there.
voted on.
And
All
then
in favor of the minutes and the last meeting, I wasn't there.
his first radio station.
Okay, now we'll suspend the meeting to have the sheriff serve us lunch.
It's
Remove the suspension. Need to disclose any conflicts that anybody might be experiencing, feel they have. Other than that, public comment, anybody have anything to say?
I have something.
Go ahead.
Okay, Steve asked me earlier at this meeting for fairgrounds. I don't know if that's got anything to do with you, but I called Todd Miller about using a tractor down there from our snowmobile association. We've done it in the past for years. Donated one for them to use. We have not been contacted by anybody at the Fair Association about getting one. And if they contact us, well, but we're down to only 3 tractors now in our association that don't have tracks on it. And right now, we're in full bore with grading and brushing our railroad grades, the cattail, the sawmill trail. All our tractors are done on right now, but we could probably work it, and they're requesting to bring one out in Sterling to work the trail out there. So we'd have to work back and forth with that tractor with the fairgrounds for their horse arena.
But you say you have not been kind
No, well, we have not heard anything this year.
okay. I think what we should probably do is bring that up.
yeah, before we,
Okay, what we'll do is bring that up to the committee that will probably have a better contact with the Fair Association.
Yeah. Well,
But it's-
we have a good relation with them, but they never called us to ask for one this year. So
Well, I'm glad you brought that up to our attention, so we'll get it into the executive committee and they'll act on it.
it's not our fault that we don't have one out there. Nobody's fault.
We appreciate it.
Okay, that's all I have.
Oh, thank you very much. Supervisors that are not seated in this, bring up something. Bring it up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, committee members. So I'm here to speak to my resolution, I believe the number is 3521, in support of police officers.
Right.
I guess I just look at it and I think it's time that somebody does something. You turn the TV and you turn the computer on, and all it is cops are horrible, cops do bad things. You know, one here and there does something bad, it's no different than any other profession. So it's a bad apple somewhere, but it's time we recognize our law enforcement officers, not just in this county, but around the nation, and that's why it's there. I just wanted to come and speak.
Appreciate you bringing that up, Ed. Have any comments? Okay. All right. Mr. Chair, go ahead.
so do you think that, something that we did work with?
We will when it comes up. Bill on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mr. Nevin.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick update without stealing too much thunder from other departments, but the COVID numbers, been monitoring those, been down quite a bit. We're averaging about 1 a week. And we went for about 14 days without any cases for a while. We know it can come back, but we are monitoring it and doing that. Vaccines, we still offer the vaccines, and we're getting, the numbers coming in. It's not a high volume. Continue to grow, and always encourage people to do what's right for them and their families to get a vaccination if appropriate. But it's the other topic of common discussion That's the funds from the federal government. Of course, the county will get a total of 8.5 between now and, the next year. But we are getting ideas. At the next general government, we're going to discuss the process of how we're going to decide what to do with those funds. We're in no urgent rush, but we're getting a lot of ideas, and so we want to make sure that you all will have understanding of what process we can follow to make that decision. I would just recommend that if any of you, because I know people are coming to the supervisors and saying, hey, I got this idea, the county pays so much money, right? But if you get those suggestions, and if they're formal, I mean, we don't want, here's an idea, or if they've got a legitimate proposal, give me a copy of it. I'd like to keep kind of a file so we can review all of them and some of that.
Any questions?
Yes. Well, do you think there's anything under that, transportation, county transportation, or anything that, the highway will benefit, be able to benefit from?
From the COVID funds,
Yeah,
out there right now, currently, no. Nothing's been, in the documents that show that we can use them for transportation projects. Chad was looking more into that if we could, but it was pretty much, defined in there that, transportation projects didn't apply to those.
they maybe like in through ADRC or something through their transportation, that,
That would qualify as a transportation program possibly.
we'll keep looking.
We had, Mr. Bonner, we are, in fact, looking at the HHS agenda. We will discuss kind of next steps in looking at transportation, the public transportation. It's got to do a little study, but we are in the process of putting together an idea of how do we move forward. A study to say what type of transportation.
One of the big needs that I see in the county is transportation. St. Clair County, they have a system going to the airport and the people going to work and even. We have a need and we. Yeah, but I think it's very.
Okay. Now we'll vote for the highway commissioner.
Sure.
Yeah.
Update on the, transportation, program. Bridge first, the bridges we have in the system right now, the one on 165th Avenue by the campground there, that has a tentative start date for replacement, July 19th. The bridge in, town of Clear Lake on 30th Street, everything's ready to go for that. I just don't have a construction date yet for that on a pre-con. The same on the bridge in Beaver on 40th Street, just waiting for a construction date. The bridge on Church Road, there was some, the Bureau of Structures, instead of doing an overlay, wanted us to do a deck replacement, which wouldn't have not got us anything more than we have currently. We couldn't make it wider with that. We had the super truck out last Wednesday. We sounded the bottom of that deck. That deck is sound, so we are moving ahead with the August TS&E with the overlay on that project. So that should be moving ahead rather quickly on that one. The bridge on 270th, County B and County K, they're moving forward in planning. The one on 270 is just waiting state review. So those projects are going along. In the next cycle that starts here in August, I'm applying for aid for the bridge on County H over the Apple River there, the ones that we've jacked up several times. The bridge on County W over Mackenzie Creek, that made the program now. The bridge up in Lorraine on 357, that's now posted at 10 tons. That'll be in the next program. And the second bridge there on 30th Street down to town of Clear Lake. On the rural side of the SPP, County M, they got the culvert work done out there. Today should have started the pulverizing and paving of that pavement, so next 6, 7 weeks they'll be replacing that pavement down there on that one. County F, that's currently in design from Amory to Duranda. That's moving forward. We got our culverts replaced. I did have them do a study for the intersection of K or F and double P there in Duranda for safety reasons. That study came back that there's no reason to change that intersection. It's mainly human error at that one, not giving way. Look at County F and County C, coming from the north to F there on site distances and how it goes. That'll, in the project, that will get a different location for a stop bar so people know where to stop, that they won't feel they're pulling out too far on it. And that's scheduled right now for 2023, 24 for pavement replacement on that one. And in the next cycle, working on the application for County F from 65 to View Lane going towards Dresser. That'll be the next one in the federal system. And that probably won't get paved until 28, 27 time frame. Highway projects right now, our chip seals on on J, H, and double G, they'll start in August here, along with our milling on County I from State Highway 48 South and County W from I to Frederick. That milling of the paving will start toward the end of August on those ones. Been working on bridge aid projects. We got one down, one done for the town of Beaver. We're waiting on pipe for Clam Falls, Lorraine, and West Sweden. They should be here within the next couple weeks, so we'll put those in the ground soon and get those up there. County Road N speed study got requested from the Little Butternut Lake Association to change the speed limit on County N down to 45 by the lake there. We have the traffic counters out there. We're gonna get that data in there, and if it warrants that, we'll lower that by the lake there to 45 miles an hour. WISDOT projects. Right now, we've done about a dozen concrete repairs on the hill that blew up in the last heat we had. Those have been completed. Working on state mowing now. They gave us to go ahead to start mowing on the state with that. Amory's still going on 46 with the curb issue downtown. Part of that has been paid back already. So that's moving along also. That's all I have for updates right now.
There was another public fire in reference to C and F coming from the south, whether or not we could brush back further on the west side of brush back further to get a better view for some reason. Thinks that seems to be restricted by the, I didn't see the problem if you approach the stop sign. They seem to him and two other people along that.
Go down to check it out.
Anybody else have anything? Go ahead.
Well, this may be more of a comment than a question. This weekend, we got a Facebook, there was a post from Wendy's. They were having lunch on the 4th at the Apple River Park. And a branch went down right next to it. And then we were talking, there was pictures, it was a big branch. So I just think, if you haven't heard that, maybe we need to check it was a dead.
Okay.
And look at some of them. There was no damage, but everybody was pretty upset. Then the other thing, yesterday, we had to go to Richmond. And I stopped in Amory, we were taking the detour along the river. And I stopped right by the Cattail Trail. The restroom there. But right next to it is our recycling bin. And there was a husband and wife there, and I talked to her for a few minutes. And there was nowhere to put recycling. It was stacked up in the front of those bins. And it said the date to pick it up was yesterday. So I said, that's a holiday. But couldn't we look at something in the future so that the workers don't have to go out and pick all the garbage up off the ground? Or recycling, I guess.
Yeah, we put signs on all those bins stating that we'd be there a day late because of the holiday and not to stack anything in front of the bins to take your recycling back and they could hold it for another day. It didn't seem to work down there.
Just looked like quite a.
It's full.
Isn't there a motion of promoting additional bins there?
The bins down there are gonna be relocated to another spot with the city of Amory, so that we can open up that parking lot for the Cattail Trail that it's supposed to be used for. But there has been talk of additional bins. And then we're looking at paving a section there with the city to have
Add
more.
to the contract. Go ahead.
I went to the town of Alden June meeting and talked about the bridge and very interested in sharing the cost with the county. I think in a resolution form, they talked about the Highway 65 about contacting Howard about the 3 Suicide Hill. And they had quite a discussion on the section there with Church Road at 65.
Did for there was an accident on 65 on the hill right north of 90th Avenue.
Yes.
Sharp one by Larson's there.
Yep.
I did forward the accident report to the state safety engineer, although there was high speed involved in that crash. To hopefully get some movement that'll get that hill in there. So we keep pushing on them for those intersections.
A week ago Sunday, I got coming down on 65 and just got halfway in the intersection. So I was looking both ways. All of a sudden, the car popped up from the bottom from the north. Chased, I got out of there in time. I never hit my bumper. Got me there right now.
One question.
Go ahead.
What was the Atlas Bridge status?
That's in planning right now.
You said something about I to Frederick.
No, from I on W. Frederick. It's on W
Oh,
from
on
I.
W. Here's on that one. All right. Anybody else got anything? Mr. Sheriff, you're next.
Well, after the flaming gun here, it's pretty good, you know. So, I got a few things to talk about today. When we go on our jail tour, our new jail captain, Matt Leckman, who, accepted that position, will be leading that tour today. So I'm excited for Matt. He's been a sergeant for a long time. He's been a lieutenant for the shortest time ever. He was our lieutenant for probably less than a month and then became captain. So congratulations, Matt. I traveled last week, Phoenix, Arizona, and my deputy, Andrew Vitalis, was given the NSA's Deputy Sheriff of the Year Award. Quite an honor. The banquet, there was 800 in attendance for that. So really impressive event, really proud of the agency. I'm not going to give any drug stats because Chad Roberts is working on that graphic for you at the full board meeting you'll get every month. So I'll hold off. You can have that for you next week. I do have some rec patrol numbers I wanted to just share. As you know, we got the full-time rec position, and that's really beneficial for all the tourism. As you saw this last weekend, Polk County is a tourism-rich community. So we've had 42 hours of APV patrol for the month of June. We had 72 hours for the boat patrol for the month of June. So totaling 114 hours of rec patrol. Normally we would have a little more because we'd be teaching safety classes, but with the COVID, the DNR is not. We're not going forward with the safety classes right yet. So that's exciting. It's exciting to have that resource and be able to get out there and work it. Have the boat patrol on the water over the weekend. We had a great fourth. Not a lot of crisis issues. It went really well. You look at probably what the population was of the county this last weekend, and it's pretty impressive that we get through it without too many ordeals. That's all I have. I look forward to giving you guys the tour with Matt after this meeting. Yes, I submitted a press release when I got back of Andrew getting that award, and we have several members of the agency go as well. see it. So it was a great opportunity.
Oh. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Sure. Hearing none, we will move on to our update on ATV.
Well, there was a little snafu to start because part of the committee members were over at the other building. But we had a good discussion after everybody got together. And mostly it's because of Sterling, because it's first section. And within that discussion, the sidelight is we need to promote it somehow in the county so that looking forward, there's a number to call. Anyone has questions about it, interest in it? And I don't think we ever got that down. I wrote down tourism, the tourism center, but it should, I think it could just be on possibly our website, and they're working on the website. I understand to make it more user friendly. Bob's not here. Bob, let's see what.
You have the number?
We don't have a number.
Oh, I thought you had one other than.
No, I just said tourism, we need to create one that people can go down and work on contacts. And
Okay.
then partly at the end of that discussion, then we moved a little bit forward with, Rick McQuiggan was here, the guys were talking about section 2. Don't think it'll happen this summer. But they're gonna look at it this summer. Yeah, possibly next year.
What was the plan?
And part of the plan there is get some cooler weather to work out there. And then we did discuss some about the parking lot and campsites. Danny there, Carlson, talking about if there was room for more than the 4. And Ben said there's a 40 acre parcel, 40 acres. So then that means could branch out with more. This whole 40 or whatever can be put in or whatever their club is looking at possibly down the road that they can get grants to help with that. So all those things are, I guess, tentative. And we had a member, Danny, I didn't catch his name, who was here from Plant Falls? I don't know. He said it, maybe I didn't get it, but anyway.
It's an old one. Out there, the farmers out there.
Alter Owens.
No, it's one of the grandkids. It'd be one of their,
Yeah, you know?
Jeff Owens.
yeah.
Okay.
Now we got Brad here because he's asked about that. And they're representing, they're over 20, he said they had more from Luxa. They're quite a ways over 20 members. They're all looking at working on this section from Plant Falls to Indian Creek. Part of the hold up, she was here is wetland. How to get the NR approval. So all these things have to come together, get that trail started, but they have a large group and they technically will do most of the work. I think that I heard a rumor they do it all. But we have to decide what needs to be done where. Because there is one section that they had, it was said that I saw those pictures that we had them in our committee where Bob and Ben were out there and actually got stuck. Now, Pine Falls Club showed new pictures where that was right after rain and they were dry now. So just have to get all those little things worked out, same as in Sterling. We just don't have much up in Sterling where it's all sand. I guess that's about it for today.
I've had some excellent comments from the public in reference to the efforts of the committee. But, you know, more than one. I mean, there's a number of words getting out. And a lot of them, I'm sure you'll be hearing from in the future on any project that may or require any law. Anybody else have anything for the committee? Okay, appreciate it. CJCC. If we got anything.
Chad is not here, I don't know if you have any chat.
I would just add, we had the DOJ come up and do an audit, CJCC process, specific to the drug court, and I think it was very positive.
That was an audit of the program itself.
They presented at the meeting too, the DOJ auditors did a presentation on CJCC and treatment court. And it was very well received.
An idea how many people are involved?
I don't think, typically it's, the goal is 17, so I'm not sure where they're at.
That's good. Okay. Sports, the rec complex, do you have anything on that?
No, just the next step is a market opportunity study. I talked with one company. We have others that have expressed an interest, but this market opportunity study is really the thing that just says, what does Polk County need? What could it successfully work with, or what say? That's all it is, and it could be. They very well could say that. I come back and say, well, these specific sports or activities are in great demand. Got a market area that would attract people, and it would help us narrow down what exactly. But just the first base.
Okay. Now, Johnny, you want to make everybody read the resolution? In reference to the report of the police officer. You have a copy of it here, right? The direction right from the point that it's, I think we should have support. We motion support their. Got a motion and a second to move the resolution 3521 on the American Police Officers Association to the Polk County Board. Next meeting. Will that be all in favor? Aye.
Will that be at our July meeting?
The next meeting.
Yes, I believe it is on the agenda. And we.
I thought I made that quite clear that next meeting. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. I think we should, I think that's good.
Good vision.
Any annual reports? Anybody have anything that they want to identify for the next meeting? Okay. Now, the way we usually handle the jail pool is not every supervisor tends to go to the jail film again every year. The only thing changes if there's a painting. But, and of course, some of the inmates. Other than that, it's unfortunate that we know some of them ourselves personally. But so what we'll do is we will adjourn the meeting with your approval and continue the meeting, continue the jail tour as required by the statute. But the meeting, if you can't or don't want to, tour itself.
And if we could, Mr. Chairman, if we could just get on the record who's going to tour the facility, just so we have a record that a supervisor, at least one, for the facility, so we meet our statutory requirement.
Right. Okay. Anybody else want? Can't walk.
Adjourn the meeting, Jay, or be
Yep, so we're gonna adjourn the meeting, the exception of the jail court, the thing. All got a, update on Joe's new ringtone, so. And then Joe.
How long has the daughter got on treatments and all this?
That's not a choice.
You can shut it.
Okay.
You wanna move to adjourn?
Need a motion to adjourn, all in favor, and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign, very good, thank you. Thank you for lunch.
Yes, you can just leave the trays, we'll grab them after the tour. We'll get this together, that's all.
All right,